All right. So I was offered a free Volvo. You know, the safest car in the world. They're pretty cool. They're made of metal. They've got headlights, big headlights, sort of like a Mercedes. I was offered a free Volvo. Hey, ask 20 if he wants the Volvo. Right? One of the family members had too many cars. Imagine that, right? He bought his daughter something back from her or something like that. Like, yeah, the daughter was having a hard time. I don't remember the exact details. I don't care. But it's like, hey, what, blah, 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 has this. He wants to know if you want it. I was offered a free Volvo. Volvos aren't cheap. Volvos can be fun. They're definitely respectable. I mean, a Volvo is the perfect doctor or nurse car. But meanwhile, I got to tell you, I'm a fan of the BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Yeah, years ago, a buddy of mine, Ron, I was actually related to him too through marriage to someone else. Ron says, hey, why do you like BMWs? I mean, a Volvo is a safer car. And I said, a BMW is pretty damn safe. He goes, well, on a scale from 1 to, the Volvo got 97, the BMW got 95, and yeah, the Toyota got a 70, right? And the old Ford Pinto got a 10. But meanwhile, I want what I want. I want you to get the gold in this, because I was imagining, right, a car. I was imagining, see, at first, I sometimes you got to wiggle around with this stuff. I was imagining doing what I want, when I want, with who I want. Because way back in the old days, Victoria and I had one car. I didn't feel the need to buy a car because I'd only go to the shops. And my buddy Dom was coming in every week. I was teaching him Kung Fu, and we'd do Kung Fu for an hour, and he'd take me to the shops for an hour. And it was good. We had a lot of fun hanging out. I was teaching him how to communicate with people better. It's like, radio, lessons in flirting. Give a genuine compliment, ask a genuine question. It's amazing the friends you can make if you ask, hey, a genuine question, and give a genuine compliment. But meanwhile, so I was imagining a car, just being able to go shopping without Dom. So I imagined that. And I was offered the free Volvo. It's like, I don't know. Just not a fan. Would you have taken it? Could you have taken it? I could have taken it. I didn't. And as I finally tuned it up what I wanted, it came back to the old 3 Series Bimmer. One way or the other, I love the 3 Series Bimmers. I just do. 4-door, 2-door, don't matter. I've owned both. And I always tend to buy Bimmers at the prices of Chevys. That's just my thing. You get them sharing some truths about me. I buy BMWs for the price of Chevys. Always have, always will. We now have 2 that we've paid about the price of a Chevy for each of them. And they're great cars. Mine's a little dirty because I haven't washed it in a while. Victoria's is pretty clean because she polishes it while she drives the car. It's like how she washes her hair while she dries her hair. How she cleans the stove while she cooks. She's that kind of girl. Meanwhile, I'm giving you some ideas here. This is really good shit. So every day, there's some little tiny things I do. One of the things I do is comb my hairs. Right? I don't have long hairs anymore. It doesn't take long. But every day I comb my hairs. Every day I make my coffee. We got a little coffee grinder thing. It's built into the espresso machine. And, it's the Breville. I love the Breville. But I've got a routine down. The first couple times I used the Breville, it was like, wow, it was really weird. I was used to the AeroPress. I learned that from Tim Ferriss. And Dave Asprey got me how to use it right. You see, I learned it from one guy, and then another guy tuned me up. He goes, no, do it this way. And I went, holy shit, I've been doing it all wrong all these years. Thanks, Dave. And so, every day I drink my coffee. I whiz it up with some butter in it. I just love that. It's so good. I had a little bit of synonym. I love synonym. Dave Chappelle says you need both the lion and the lamb. He quotes his mother. I wish I knew the quote right now because you need both sides of this. There's the attitude of Abdullah. You need that. Abdullah didn't settle. He taught Neville not to settle. Remember, Neville was excited. He was going 3rd class. Slammed the door. For God's sake, Neville. No. You get to start saying no to the old bullshit. Settling for third class. I could have settled for the Volvo. By the way, I've been in that Volvo recently. He still has it. He'd still give it to me. I don't need it. It would just clear up my driveway. What's cluttering up your driveway? Because there's some old imaginings. Most people would call them beliefs. Some people would call them deep hidden beliefs. Some people would say there's deep hidden beliefs that your subconscious have. See, I don't believe in the subconscious. I believe it's just another term to keep you stuck. Because Neville started with it. He said, sufficiently impress upon your subconscious. And it was like 13 years later, he wrote the same package, the same point, sufficiently impress upon yourself. Because people get all wrapped up in dumb shit. You know, by the way, having a subconscious mind that is repeatedly impressed, it's almost like a Volvo. It keeps things safe. It's not you that's getting impressed. But if you move forward a little bit in Neville's teachings and you explore who you are and how this works, you get the subconscious is just another concept. Because you have to find it and you have to ferret it out, you have to study it, you have to protect it, it has to protect you. It's endless bullshit. Like owning a car you wouldn't drive. I enjoy my Bimmer. Meanwhile, so every day I do these tiny little things. I make the coffee, I brush my hairs. I do the podcast. The podcast averages 7 to 15 minutes. It used to be only 5 because that's all Anchor let us do at the beginning. 2.5, almost 2.6 million listens now. Do you think that makes a dent? Do you think it makes a difference in the world? I can guarantee it does. Listen to the attitude here. Because as long as your attitude is, I'm small and insignificant, you're not going to do the tiny little things that matter, like doing a Joseph Goddard every morning. Every morning before I get out of bed, 5 to 10, 6 to 12 specific events of today, I imagine having gone my way. And for the people that just tune in and want to argue against it, have fun in your suffering. Because you got a choice. You can suffer or you can simple. Simple changes everything. Suffer sucks. I'm not a fan of suffering. Been there, done that. I'm not a fan of suffering for one more moment. Abdullah slammed the door. See, here's how you suffer. You make up shit that doesn't matter. You become an addict. And here's the definition of an addict. I need this before I can have that. An addict defines the middles. I need $1 before I can get an aspirin. I just imagine not having a headache. God, it's funny. One day, this is years ago, I had a headache and I didn't have any drugs on me. Well, not a fan of drugs anyway. But I knew like an aspirin would help. Right? And I have no money. I've got no aspirin on me. And I'm sitting on a park bench. And suddenly I feel these fingers. These lovely little fingers on my neck, on my shoulders. And somebody bends over and whispers in my ear, "Hey, 20, it's been a while." And I said, "Keep going. That's nice. Keep going. That's nice." And as my friend who I haven't seen in so long took a few moments to spontaneously out of the blue take a walk where she doesn't walk, to find a man who she hasn't seen in a while, and sneak up behind and put her fingers on my neck, on my shoulders, and do what she does so lovely. My headache dissolves. I'm able to imagine more lovingly, more lovely things for her, for me, and even for you. But here's the thing. Don't be an addict. Because if you believe the only way for it to happen is the aspirin, and the only way to get the aspirin is $1, and the only way to get $1. See, when I was a boy, I used to weed for like $4 an hour. So I'd have to go weeding for 15 minutes. Could you imagine a grown man knocking on doors saying, "Hey, listen, I need an aspirin. To get an aspirin, I need $1. To get $1, I need to weed for 15 minutes. Do you have some weeds?" And that's the story most people live in. Do you have some weeds? I want you to weed out of your mind, all of that. If you got gold today, I've got a couple suggestions for you. Number one, manifestingmasterycourse.com. That's the backbone of all we do. If you haven't done it, do it. It takes about 15 minutes a day. manifestingmasterycourse.com. Next, if you've been around for a while, we did some really cool calls that began with the prodigal son. And today, we are releasing, I still might do some tweaks on the web page, the Prodigal Power Pack. That's prodigal, how do you spell that? Prodigalpowerpack.com. If you need help with the link, let me know. But the details are there. I just need a snazzy headline. But you're getting 3 for the price of 1. We did 3 group calls. You get all 3 recordings for the price of 1. We explored the prodigal son, the one who was considered reckless. We explored Jacob, the one that is called the supplanter, also called the deceiver. He also became king. You see, the prodigal son became king after being reckless, demanding, give it to me now. He didn't even try to figure out the middles. He denied the middles. The middles for the prodigal was, Dad dies, I get the money. The prodigal said, give me my inheritance now. Jacob, right, he was a bad boy too. Right? Jacob deceived his father. You have to deceive you. Because you're the father and you're Jacob. You have to deceive you if you're going to manifest effectively. God, we spent 90 minutes exploring that one too. And finally, we dove into the 3 sons of Noah, because Ham, the center son, the second son, Ham at the center of it all. Through his lineage came the land of milk and honey. Ham gets you out of your head. Ham gets you into your life. Ham has you stop forcing and struggling and pushing. Ham reveals the secrets of the Father. So if you got gold, Prodigal Power Pack. That's Prodigal Power Pack. Prodigal Power Pack. Alrighty, have a lovely day. Go get it. Dive deeper. And remember, don't be an addict. Well, before I can do that, Mr. 20, I need to do this. And before I have to do this, I have to go weed for 15 minutes. Radio. But I only get creative, man, when I smoke it. Right. That's called slavery. I'm into freedom. Have a lovely day. See ya.